So I decided to answer the question that no one has answered. Which is the best bird in Stardew Valley? Is it the chicken or the ostrich? I have not seen many comments asking this question, and that's when I knew I just had to find out this for myself. So I booted up a new save file and made a coop full of chickens and a barn full of ostriches. I will be doing 2 tests to determine which bird is more profitable. The first test is pretty simple. I will collect eggs that each bird lays for an entire week and then sell them to see which bird made more money with just their eggs. So you might think that the ostrich will definitely win this one because their eggs sell for a lot more. But the big difference between the 2 birds is that chickens lay their eggs much more frequently than ostriches. So even though ostriches' eggs sell for more, you will definitely have more chicken eggs if you had the same amount of each bird. My second test will be turning all of the eggs collected over in 1 game week into mayonnaise and seeing which bird makes the most amount of mayonnaise. Each chicken will produce a single serving of mayonnaise, where an ostrich egg will produce 10 mayonnaise. I'm excited to see which bird will win this extremely competitive competition. As you see here, I have a single barn and a single coop. But you didn't think I was only going to use one of each for this test, did you? Naturally, I thought to make things more fun, I should have at least 18 barns and 18 coops absolutely filled with chickens and ostriches. Meaning, I have 216 chickens and 216 ostriches. That is a lot of animals. I had to create more than 10 silos to actually feed them. Each in-game day costs about 450 hay. Just like in the other video I did, placing all of the coops and barns was easy and painless. Well, compared to some of the other steps in making this, to get all of the chickens, I had to buy 1 chicken at a time at Marnie's ranch. This took much longer than I anticipated, as you had to scroll and click on a coop every single time. And after more than 200 chickens, you'll be surprised at just how long this can actually take. After buying and placing all of the chickens, I thought the ostriches were going to be easy because I'm simply just gonna place 12 ostrich egg incubators in each farm and then just make 12 ostriches at the same time. Unfortunately, that isn't how it works. When I entered the barn, I got a disclaimer saying a new ostrich was hatched, and then I had to give it a name. But the rest of the incubators were not complete. Well, you had to leave the barn and enter it again, starting this entire process all over again. This was really not expected, but with some patience and Netflix on the other screen, I had all of my ostriches and chickens just ready for the test. I wanted to make this test as fair as possible, and since the chickens and ostriches were not fully matured at the exact same time, I had to basically starve all of my animals until I was ready to perform the test. So I made sure not to pet any of the chickens, and they haven't eaten yet. I think all of these animals hate me, which is kind of understandable, but it was for the greater good. To get started with the test, I filled up the silos with hay, meaning the first time any animal will eat anything is starting on the day that this test starts. Then, I went into each barn and coop and placed an auto grabber so I didn't have to manually collect the eggs every day. I also included an auto petter for some reason and even a Genoma chest. I thought the Genoma chest could be useful here. It was the perfect size to hold all of the eggs, but it didn't really make much of a difference. If I just kept everything in my inventory, it would have been the same thing. It has now been 7 days. Let's go and collect all of the eggs that our birds have produced. With some coffee and spicy eel, this should be relatively quick. Just run through the animals, maybe say hi, grab everything in the auto grabber, and continue. I'm skipping any egg that is not in the auto grabber. Those are the eggs that were just produced before I placed the auto grabber, and they do not count for this test. Somehow these animals still produced eggs, even though they have never been fed, which is quite surprising to me. And that is it. I've collected all of the eggs. Let's see how many we have. 379 ostrich eggs. That number seems kind of low since I have over 200 ostriches. and I left them to produce eggs for an entire week. And I have 1,322 chicken eggs. Now that is a lot of eggs. Chickens just lay more eggs than ostriches, but the number of eggs doesn't matter too much here. It's how much money we can make by selling these eggs. So let's see how much these eggs can make us. The ostrich eggs sold for a total of 272,000 gold. After adding up all the different quality chicken eggs, they sold for 82,000 gold. This is when I realized a minor flaw in my test. As you become better friends with your chickens, they will start to produce large eggs that sell for twice as much as the smaller eggs. So just for interest's sake, let's double the eggs' total sold amount to 164,000. Even after doubling the gold made by chicken eggs, the ostrich is still a clear winner here. Even though they produce much fewer eggs than the chicken, they still win because of the sell price of their eggs. Okay, ostriches get the first point. Now let's skip over another 7 days and do this test again, but this time we'll be turning all of the eggs into mayonnaise. After another 7 days, this time I had even fewer ostrich eggs. They only managed to produce 216 eggs over 7 days. Even though I didn't pet them, I started to get some gold and silver quality eggs, which was pretty nice. Either way, I'm turning all of these into mayonnaise now. For the chickens, I had even more eggs this time. I had 1,512 eggs. So somehow they produced more eggs than last time. Interesting. Turning the ostrich eggs into mayonnaise was really easy because I could almost fit all of them into a single deluxe shed, but it took much longer for the chicken eggs. At one stage, I used all 4 of the sheds to reduce the mayonnaise for them because there were just too many eggs. Turning the ostrich eggs into mayonnaise got me a total of 2,160 mayonnaise. And some were higher quality. And since some chicken eggs are a 1-to-1 ratio, I only had 1,500 mayonnaise from the chickens. Without even having to sell the mayonnaise, the ostrich was the clear winner here. Pure ostrich eggs produced more mayonnaise, and then the ostrich egg is just much more time efficient because each egg will get you 10 mayonnaise. But with the chicken eggs, you will need to turn 10 eggs into mayonnaise to get 10 mayonnaise. So we can definitely conclude that the ostrich is much more profitable and the easier bird to maintain. Knowing this, are you going to replace all of your chickens with ostriches? Just as a side note, you can also sell your animals if you want. Selling a max heart chicken can make you about 1,000 gold, and selling a max heart ostrich will get you an impressive 20,000 gold. And that is a lot. I wonder if anyone has tried to sell animals in Stardew Valley and have it actually be profitable. Interesting. Thank you so much for watching this video. This was a ton of fun to make, and it wasn't anywhere as tedious as the shed farming video. If you don't have an ostrich yet, you should definitely get one. Not only are they really profitable, they're also just really cute, and I'm glad they were added to the game. If you like this video, make sure to hit that button, and as always, I will see you in the next video.